So so this is for color prints, and we'll again do a quick run through first. All right. Let's now go back to the first one.
Well, that's the last one there. It's on the screen now.
What about now?
Okay, you're back to the beginning. Okay, you're back to the beginning.
Yeah. Mike, can you read the title, please?
Yeah, you showed all 23 images during that run through?
Yep. Yes. That's my count.
Okay, great. We're good. Okay, the first one's called Good to Be the King.
I think this could have been brought down to those highlights in the animal a little bit more and darken over his ear, that area up there, just so that there's more contrast between the body and the background. Other than that, could have been cropped a little bit. The rock there is sort of not necessary. I mean, that part of it, I would crop that out to the right, and you could brought it down a little bit on top. But other than that, that's a good photo. But that's out.
Okay. Home run.
Yeah, this one I had real trouble with because I couldn't. It was supposedly telling me a story, but I see the house and I'm guessing this is some kind of mechanical shovel or something like that, but it doesn't really tell me anything about what really is going on. So a different angle to show more of the house or what this unit was would be a big help. But right now it's I have a big question mark. I really don't understand the picture at all in terms of what the title says. Out.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna kill this one. Hydrangea explosion.
Hydrangea, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. If I had to just judge flower shows or nature, I'd be hard put to be excited about a lot of stuff. But this one, the photographer did a good job of getting a sense of something in terms of putting in the motion when there's no motion. But yeah, I like this one a lot, and this one's in.
All right. It's a Pontiac.
Yes, it is. I don't understand the cropping on this in a way, I think this thing stands out so much. I think maybe having more of the car would have helped it quite a bit. Right now, it's sort of the trophy without seeing a little more of the car. As far as exposure goes, so the layout, the actual composition hurts us quite a bit. I think seeing more down here, more on top to give a little more better sense of the car itself too, just a touch more, but this is almost too tight a composition. That one's out.
All right. Late Summer Splash.
Again, I like the idea of having the water, of course, moving and the rock there sort of the stability in the photo. And the fungus or whatever it is on there is sort of a nice touch to have that and to balance with the white water. So this one is in.
That one's in?
Yes, yes, in.
Life in the Tetons.
I like this quite a bit. It has a lot of good elements to it. The balance I feel is works well for the open space on the left and the house there on the right. I can't really see any reason to change much of anything in there because again you have some good definition in the shadows and the highlights, and I think it's well composed and well edited. This one's in.
All right. Lilac-breasted roller threading the needles.
Long title. Yeah, I like this one a lot for a number of reasons. One, you got a great shot of the bird, and two, the contrast to whatever that tree or whatever is behind them. I just like the juxtaposition of the arms of the tree and the wings. So I think this is a delightful picture to look at. And, I have a few friends who are birdiers who would probably love this photo. This one's in.
All right.
Excuse me.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I like this one a lot from a composition standpoint. It reminds me of a picture I shot at Coca-Cola of bottles of Coke, where I think it was Coke or beer. I forgot what it was. I think it was Coke anyhow, that were all lined up like that. So yeah, a good pattern, and probably I would have punched it up just a little bit more to get just a little more contrast in there. But other than that, I think it's a good photo. And this one's in.
Got it. Next one is Old Car Reflection.
I think this would have helped if it had been maybe a stronger reflection, and that probably could have helped if he had put more contrast, especially in the lower left here, where it's you can see some weeds, and maybe brighten the top part where you see the sky and the other trees. I think that would have been, you would have gotten more impression of the reflection than the way it is now. And again, I didn't notice this until now, that the front of the car probably could have gone in and added a little contrast in there too. That would have punched that up a little bit. So this one's out.
Okay, got it. Peaceful morning.
Yeah, I like the composition on this, and Fox, I believe it is, and the tree, and just good separation between the animal and the background. Minor point, I might have cut the leaves on the left off and cropped it a little differently than that. Keep emphasis, because your eye does wander over to the left, and I would probably have eliminated that. The greenery in the foreground's nice contrast to the rest of the photo. I believe this one, what was the name of it again?
Peaceful morning.
Yeah, this one's in.
Okay. Pot of gold at the mountaintop.
This, I don't know if your members are reluctant to do Photoshop, to just give it a different look, but this one is it needs more punch to it, and so by changing the color on it, making it brighter, sharper, more contrasty, maybe cropping it, because I don't think the left part of the picture does anything to it. Maybe by making it more in a square, it would have put a little more emphasis on the rainbow, and a little more, and then giving it some more punch. Play around with Photoshop, make some changes, see what something like that would have helped. So, but this one's out.
Okay. Reaching for the light.
One objection is there's the images, the part of the flower is not really crisp. Maybe the person was looking for a hazy or a softer look, but I would have liked to seen that a bit sharper. The light in the center on top, I probably would have pulled that down a little bit. Could have been, it's almost like the sun's coming through and shining on it, but that sort of, I think, takes away from the rest of the photo. And again, my eye goes up there and then comes back to the blossom. This one's out.
Got it. Okay. Ruby-throated hummingbird.
Well, I felt this was a strong one from the start. Anybody that can get a good action shot like that is, I know how hard hummingbirds are to photograph. So I like the composition. I have a bird feeder newly added to my house a few months ago, and all I get them doing is going into the feeder and not smiling at me. So this one's well composed and good contrast, and this one's in.
All right. shake it off.
Yeah, it looks like he had just shook it off with the rain and all that. Good, simple background. It's a nice contrast to the bird handlebar or the thing he's on there. It's plain and simple and a nice strong shot. I do not have that on the list, so it sort of fell into the in-between cat. I couldn't make up my mind, but this one will be out.
All right. Sky dance.
Yeah, when I first saw this picture, it was the small, whatever it is. I said, boy, it'd be nice to see his legs. And then I got the frames open, went through it. I said, well, it's what I asked for. And so it became a full body shot. I love the details and the action and the stop. Minor point, I might have eliminated a little sky on the left just to tighten it up a little bit, but other than that, it's a photo it's in.
All right. Slipping away.
This one has good framing. The I guess there are weeds on the right and dead branches on the left. Gives some contrast to the greenery around it and the animal. Really not much needed to do anything different with this. Yeah, this one's in.
All right. Smoky Mountain Stream.
Yeah, nice rendition of what photographer obviously was looking for and was there. And good repetition of the rocks and the water cascading down. Again, another picture I can't really comment on that to improve it because I don't see anything that would they could change that would make it any better. So I think it is what it is, and it's in.
All right. Space boy and dinosaur contemplate a caterpillar.
Yeah. I almost missed the caterpillar when I first looked at this. And I guess part of the problem is there's certain softness so that it's there, but it doesn't really pop out. I almost would have rather, I guess the person do a horizontal or a square, get more of the head in, because to me, it's a bit off balanced, but, or at least crop up from the bottom to right below where the left elbow is. I think that part would be better if it was crisper, sharper, and I think it would have stood out a little bit more. I really did miss the caterpillar when I first looked at it. And maybe had moved around a little bit more to the left, and that would have maybe shown up the two animals better, the toy and the animal. So this is out.
All right. Strange flower.
I think this was needed to be opened up. The shadows and the leaves needed to be a bit or a lot more detailed. You know, till I would get in and move it around to see where their level is. Will have to be a visual impact, but I think that would have helped it a lot. That's my main comment on that, because there's really nothing else to see in the background, so cropping it or anything, it really doesn't help it at all. But I just think the amount of darkness in there is doesn't help the photo. That's out.
Next one is Sunset on the Bay.
Excuse me. Well, looks like you clued the seagulls pretty well, getting them in there. Great pattern. So much out there is being lucky that you get something like that, and they cooperate with you. I like the softness of the light. I love the name on the boat. So yeah, I think this is a good, strong photo, and it's in.
All right. Sunshine on a brick wall.
At first, I wasn't sure about this photo. Then I sort of put it. I didn't have the check mark on it, and then I looked at it big on my computer, and I said, "There's a lot I like about it. Just the simplicity of some of the lines, the light coming down, seeing the window, the sun hitting, I guess, from the window." The two spots there, good detail in the bricks and the pipe coming in. So I'd say it's a good, strong photo, and this one's in.
All right. Three Forks Trickum.
I have no comment as the end, except I liked it. First time I saw it, just the simplicity of it, the idea of what the photographer was trying to do works well. And you know, there's nothing that's, I would think, change it to make it any stronger. So this one's in.
All right. Tranquility through light.
I like the photo based on the title. It just I guess, how can I say it? It just doesn't. It doesn't grab me as an exciting photo. It's a well-produced photo, and somebody probably would like to have a picture like this on their wall because it is tranquil. But it just didn't speak to me tonight or today. So I'm just going to say that it was a good job, but it's not going to stay in. It's out.
Right. Okay, that does it for the first two categories. I'll go into the waiting room, and then Ron will decide. Let us know. Forward.
Say again?
I want to make sure you're okay to go forward. In case
Oh, well, yeah. I got dinner waiting for me, so.
Okay, we're all coming back. We're coming back.
Okay, is everybody in?
Yes.
Okay, so for monoprint, third place, symmetry of print. That's by Mike Schaefer.
Yeah, I have a feeling, or you know where I took that.
Yes,
that was
Casablanca.
That was taken in Morocco, in the third largest mosque in the world, the Mohammed Hussein Mosque in Casablanca. I did not see Humphrey Bogart. He was not there. But anyway, this was really one of the best shots I could find from angle. I just love the symmetry, and it was really fun to shoot. And one little thing I did is that when I first shot it, and I started working on contrast, the lighting a little bit here and there, doing some dodging and burning. I discovered one thing you want to consider is that sometimes the floor just doesn't get enough contrast, even though you increase the contrast. So I selected out the floor and pushed the contrast higher on the floor as compared to the rest of the structure, and that made it pop. So that's just a recommendation. So take a picture like this, keep an eye on that floor. Sometimes the floor can make the difference in whether a photograph works for you. Anyway, thanks.
All right, second place goes to Abandoned, and that's by Steve Director.
Well, thank you. This was a shot I took in Macon, Georgia, and went down after, if you remember, Robin Davis did was judged a couple of years ago, and she was going to the Macon Cherry, or not Macon, Mercer, Macon, I guess, Cherry Blossom Festival, and we went over to see this old grain silo. I've had this picture sitting on my disk for a long time and not quite knowing what to do with it. It is a composite. The sky was taken the same day, just in a slightly different location. But when I took the picture of the silo, the sky was just plain. So I worked on it a lot, trying to bring out the contrast and put in a more interesting sky. So I guess it worked. Thank you.
All right, and the first place goes to American Patriot, again by Mike Schaefer.
Thanks again. I know you've seen this shot before. I want to say to all the members who picked it as members' choice, I was really touched by that. This shot I really like. This is an old house actually that's in bad shape, right in Ansley Park. You know those expensive houses that go for millions. And here's this one house, real close to where I used to live. And the lady that lives there, she definitely has a personality disorder. So the guy who agreed to sit there for me, he's not in good shape. Truly, he's not. But he was a trooper, and his wife brought him up there. We grabbed the chair that they had at their place just nearby. I set him down, but we had to ask her if it was okay. So fortunately, she took her medication, and she was fine. So she's a nice lady. She just has struggles. And so anyway, and she's always had that American flag up there. Never really took it down that often. And so I just saw the picture. I had an idea, and I just really wanted to capture the times we are in, especially folks who are elderly, who unfortunately we disregard at times, which is unfortunate. But anyway, thanks so much to all of you for liking the photograph. It's a good feeling to know that. Thank you.
All right, so let's go back to colors. And for colors, we have honorable mention, Light and the Tetons, and that is by Michael Amos.
This was taken in the Tetons last fall, and they just got a little bit of snow early in that morning. And I always thought the grasses in front kind of remind me of like Andrew Wyeth, but I would think the green on the roof of the barn stood out, and you have a tree sprinkled here and there in the barn on the right. But anyway, thank you much.
Is this a pano shot?
Pardon me?
Is this a panorama?
No, it's not.
Okay. All right, so the next honorable mention is Sunset on the Bay, and that's by Steve Director.
Oh, thank you. As those of you know, I often take pictures on Cape Cod Bay, and this is one of them. And sometimes you get lucky, birds cooperate. They don't always cooperate, but this time they did. And it was just one of those beautiful skies and birds, and just waited for something to happen. The boat was sitting there and it just waited for something to happen, and it did. So thank you.
All right. Third place, Lilac Breasted Roller by Mike Schaefer.
Thanks. This shot was 80% luck. To get a head-on of a small bird like this, flying toward your camera, that's pretty rare. Very rare to get. So luck goes with it. But my shutter speed was 1 per 3200th of a second. So fortunately, the light was good. I had great equipment, so that helped a lot. And then the millimeter was 420 millimeters, f 9.0, and ISO 1400. So I had to get rid of the noise, but I wanted to make sure I froze the bird. You know, I didn't need that shutter speed for this bird but the wings, I wanted to freeze the wings, because when the bird's heading toward you, you don't need as fast shutter speed if they're going vertically or horizontal to your eye, which is typically what you get. But the trick here is to get it sharp, to get that face sharp. You have a split second to get that face sharp because it's heading towards you. And he was sitting there, and Norm, who I was with, I told you about before, he was an excellent bird photographer, about 82 years old, and a trooper in Africa. This is taken in Tanzania. And he said, this bird might fly toward us, so be ready. So he gets the credit for this shot as well. So thank you very much. I really like this, and so I was just lucky to get it, to be frank, because it's kind of a unique perspective.
I really like the beige at the bottom of the frame. I like the color change there.
Yeah, I did too, and I liked it as well. I thought it added to the photograph. I purposely included it, and so thank you very much. I liked it as well.
Mike, was it a burst?
Oh yeah, yeah. But the camera I had was my Nikon D600, and that doesn't. The shutter speed is only 5 frames per second. So you just had to nail it because you had one shot, one split second, get that face sharp. If that face wasn't sharp and the eyes weren't sharp, it would not work. But fortunately, I had it at f9, so that gave me a good depth of field, which was needed. But again, a lot of it was luck, and thanks to Norm and my twitchy finger helped.
Okay. Second place goes to Hydrangea Explosion, and that's by Daryl Neal. Is Daryl on the call?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's what it is. It's a hydrangea bush in my backyard. Back in the spring when we were all sequestered, I went out and did one of the old-timey tricks, which is because I saw how the blooms, it kind of pointed out like, well, let's pretend it was a virus and those are the protein spires on it. And I just did the usual by fooling with the shutter time and hand rotate the zoom. That's what I got.
Daryl, that is just too cool.
Well, thank you.
All right. First place goes to Skydance, and that's by Michelle Simmons.
Thank you. Thank you. I just took this last week. I went to a workshop. I usually photograph my niece. And I haven't really photographed other dancers, but I went to a workshop up on the roof of Colony Square and found this guy and called him after and said, I got to shoot you again. So we're going to shoot in a couple weeks. Thank you very much.
I really like the cloud.
Thank you. It was really, there was a lot of luck involved here.
You took it on the moon and you placed the sky. I know what you did.
Michelle, that
Yes.
was an Atlanta School of Photography, right?
Yes, yes.
I saw the ad for that one. And they had a photo of this fellow. And did they use your photo?
I think they did, yes.
Yeah.
They used it, one of their Instagram, they used a couple of my photos on their Instagram, and they sent the notice out.
I assume this was iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after your presentation that we had last meeting, you realize they rolled out the iPhone 12 Pro with 3 lenses. So I'm out there finding how one can do a trade. So
yeah, well, the 11 Pro has 3 lenses also.
The what?
The 11 Pro.
Oh, I know, but I have an 11, but I didn't get the Pro because I thought I wouldn't need that extra lens.
Oh.
I've had it for a couple of years. Anyway, and the last comment is that I also subscribe to that online phone photography journal you told us about. Mobilography, is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mobiography. Yeah, good.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Go back and look at the issues from, I think I was in the December issue.
Oh, I know that issue. Yeah, got your name on the cover.
Okay, so let's get ahead and start with the digital competition. Let me share my screen.
I would only jump as high as that guy if an alligator was under me.
All right, are you guys able to see my screen?
probably getting to the third last one set, so I have to still go
How many are there?
26.
26 more?
I've already been 50.
Are they like that?
Okay, so let's do a quick run through.
Give you a heads up when you put the 12. I'll give you.
I
I know.
hope that this one is less milky than the last one.
Okay, now let's go back to the first one. Mike.
Alrighty. A flamboyance of flamingos. It's a composite.
All right, well, this one works for me, even though he cheated like I do and does composites, but I don't take any points off for that. It's I like the layout, of course, the sun where it is, and the other birds that are further down. So it's a well composed photo, good detail. Not much you would change in lightness or darkness. So this was in.
All right. A foggy morning in Naples.
Yeah, it's almost betwixt and between. It's when it says foggy, yeah, there's some fog there, but and you can't control the fog, so it doesn't that doesn't really set a mystical mood kind of thing. It's coming up short from that standpoint. The layout and the design, where everything is, it looks fine too. The tree going up into the sky, sort of, probably would have just cropped it down and pretended it was a smaller tree and got rid of some of the sky. But this one doesn't appeal to my sense of really something basically more foggy, or make it more foggy or something, because it doesn't have enough punch in terms of creating the mood that I think it needs to have. Next, please.
All right.
Oh, that one's out, by the way. I'm sorry.
Along the Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee, one of my favorite places. Yeah, good composition. Like the way the flow of the water is. I was trying to figure out what that in the middle of the water, if that was a rock or anyhow, it's a nice break in the water there. So interesting flow of the water, and background, good balance in the photo, and this one's in.
All right. Angles.
Nice clean lines, good good composition. Not ultraviolet. I'm trying to think of anyhow. It's a simple shot, well presented, and I probably would have taken the building down a little bit more on the top up there, just give a little more detail in the brick there. But other than that, it's a fine, well-produced photo. It's in.
Buick 8.
I have a hard time with this one because I think you needed to see more of it. You have a subject on top, you have a subject on the bottom, you have the middle part, metal that is sort of blown out. Maybe bring it way down so that you just had some of the, not some of the details showing, but get it down. I either would have stuck with one or a close-up of the other, just showing the top part there with that shadow. But to show both, I would have opened it up a little bit more, show a little more of the car, and bring that detail or the highlights there in the metal part way down, get it a lot darker and a lot more dramatic. This one's out.
Got it. Butterfly.
Yeah, I might have made the butterfly just the one wing a little bit to match the other one, so they're a little brighter to stand out a little bit more. And again, probably darken those couple leaves on that bottom that are going out. There's a lot going on with the nature of the blossoms, and then the butterfly, and the other buds that hadn't opened. I probably would have maybe cropped the top part out, or done some cropping on it though, just to get some of it out of the photo on top there. Might have been difficult to be able to do that and still get the essence of what's going on. This one's out.
All right. Canyon ride.
Good action, composition. Not much I can say in terms of cropping or anything. It's just it's well executed. This one's in.
Katrina.
Again, good composition. Highlights, shadows, everything works well. Strong photo, nice and scary photo, perfect for Halloween. I'd leave this one in.
I agree. I have to play my Halloween pumpkin. Okay, that's in. Got it. Dark clouds.
I don't see what the photographer is trying to get, because all you see is a back of the statue and the feet, and it doesn't really tell me a story. So this one just, I'm not sure what level it works on, because there's nothing there that really says why the photo was taken. So this one's out.
Got it. Dinner time.
Yeah, it is. Hey, that sounds familiar. I think my wife's wondering when I'm going to come to dinner. Well composed. Probably I probably would have darkened the greenery a little bit to have that pop out a little better for the flower, because you have sort of a balance of density between the flower color and the green. So I would have darkened that down a little bit. That would have made the flower itself stand out a little bit, almost. Probably would have just gotten rid of the greenery and just made it black all around. That would have really popped out the flower. So this one's out.
All right. Entangled.
Well composed. I like the way the picture is. The composition. Exposure, the lightness, darkness, everything works well on this. Simple in nature, and good expression for what the photographer was trying to get, because it works well for the subject. And this one's in.
All right. Golden backed weaver.
Got it. Okay. I'm sorry, what was the name of that one? The name?
Golden backed weaver.
Golden, okay. I don't see that on my list, but all right. Well composed, good action. Looked like it was just leaping off that limb there. Yeah, I like it. Good separation to the background. So yeah, this works well. This is in.
All right. Gray heron takeoff.
Another one, well composed. Highlights, shadows are fine. Might have added a little more contrast to it to perk it up a little bit with the black, with parts of the wings, but this works well. Nice blur in the background. This one's in.
All right. Go. Good. Artillery.
Mike, it's a bit hard to hear you.
What's that?
Your volume is a bit low. It's very hard to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Barely. I would probably crop this. I like, if there's a reason for the background, this one probably would have been a little stronger for just a vertical crop. unless there's, you know, again, the photographer has a reason for doing this or they don't think about it. But I would have made this a stronger photo by just cropping it and letting some of the background leave and just zero in on the butterfly and the thing. This is out.
All right. Hope.
Got a lot of action photographers in here, birds and bees, and good selection. Again, I like this just because of the nature of what I see there with exposure and the contrast. Everything's fine. Probably would have darkened that stem there a little bit more to, again, it's fighting the bee a little bit, but nothing of real consequence. So this one is out.
It's over my head.
I like this a lot. Very simple. Exposure. Just the nature of what's there is just interesting location. So there's really not much to do to change it. So I would leave it the way it is, and this one's in.
All right. Ram Tough.
Again, this one, I would have, the sky bothers me because this is an interesting car, and I got a feeling there's more to see on this car than just this part is what's important. But I would have tried to get an angle where you maybe have that plus more of the car and less of the sky. I think that would have made it more interesting. This one's out.
Okay. Orlando's Ride.
Yeah, when I first looked at it, I said, geez, where's the front and back of the car? I mean, I would have probably shot this horizontal. It looks like an interesting building in the background. And seeing more of the car just because of the flow of the car, it sort of I feel like it got cut off. And everyone knows what a Volkswagen looks like, but I just feel like the way it's cropped just sort of doesn't help the photo any. And this is out.
All right. Seen at the Times Square when 6 feet distancing was a myth.
Been there, done it many times. It's a wonderful place to shoot. It's really exciting at night with the lights going on. And recently they have electronic billboards, so they change instantly rather than rolling. So it helps the photographer get full frames on the billboards. I like it from a standpoint that it tells the story about what Times Square used to be up to last February. I just probably would have given it a little more contrast, make it a little bit more punch to it. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to change and do. Maybe darken the sky a little bit more to make it a little more dramatic. This one's out.
Okay. Shopping.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. Just simple. photographer being at the right place at the right time and getting good composition. Like the stairs, you could give an idea of where it's at. Sort of, I can't read some of the writing, so I don't know what country it is, but it's just a very good scene and well composed, and one that will stay in.
All right. The man who wears the star.
I like this one a lot because the reflection of the sign in the window really pops out, and so it gives you some sense of where you're at. I wouldn't change anything on this. I think it's a strong photo, and that's in.
All right. Time machines, rendering moments gone blur.
Yeah. Again, I like the composition. I like the photo. I probably would have liked to have shot something like this for my stock library, but it's maybe excuse me, a little more contrast, pop it up a little bit, might have helped a little bit, but it's almost hard to say how much better it could be, because it tells a story. It's not as strong a photo as some of the others. So this one's out.
All right. The storms we oar.
Niagara Falls, I'm guessing. And the photographer got in a great position to take the picture, plus having the boat go by. Again, it's well composed, and plenty of detail in the highlights and the shadows. So it's a good, strong photo. This one's in.
Under the Arch, number 2.
Again, another strong photo, well composed. Like the lady there in the arch. Fun picture. And again, this one's in.
All right. BW.
Yeah, I like this one. It sort of makes me laugh. My wife's had Volkswagens her whole life, and excuse me, never saw one like this, but it works. I probably would have cropped it a little bit from the right, make it into a square. But other than that, that's a strong photo, and I will keep it in.
All right. And the last one is Where Rubber Meets.
I don't really, not that the title's important, but the title doesn't match the photo. So it just, I don't see any way of changing what the photographer was interested in, but it just doesn't have any strength to the photo to say something other than what it is, which is a rim and a tire. So this one's hard for me to really comment on. It's out.
All right, that's it. I'll send everybody to the waiting room. And thanks a lot, Ron.
Mike, we can't hear you.
Better?
Honorable mention, Under the Arc by Stan Greenberg. Stan?
No, Stan. I think Stan's not in attendance.
Okay. Next honorable mention, Angles by Enrique.
Yeah, this is a government building in Santiago, Chile. It's the city hall, and it's an infrared picture. Basically, that's it. I like the shape of it. I found for being a government building is very modern looking, and that's about it. No, I don't have anything else to say.
Enrique, it's a terrific photo.
Thank you.
I like the way it leads you up to that light, I assume it is.
Yeah, that's a street light.
Uh-huh.
It is really gorgeous.
It's a converted IR. Is it one of your Nikons?
No, actually, I used to have an Nikon converted, but the thing is that carrying two DSLRs is too much when traveling. So I have now a small Canon G9 converted.
Yeah.
It's a point and shoot camera.
We lost the audio. There's no audio.
Can you hear me?
I will place a bet. It is Mike Schaefer in Africa.
No, it's actually,
Okay, sorry, I was removed. This one was Golden Back Weaver by Steve Director.
yeah, thanks, Rahid. I wasn't sure what place it is. Is it an honorable mention? What?
This is third place.
Third place. Oh, thank you. Yes, well, Daryl, it's in Africa, but it's not Mike's.
Yeah. Do all the birds in Africa sit on branches with those spikes?
Well, you can't sit on those spikes very well. but like the shot that Mike had, you take it. You're lucky when it comes out at you and you could get it all in focus because you're not sure when it's going to come.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you.
Was it recent?
All right.
It was 2 years ago.
Z camera or D?
That was, I'd have to look because I had both of them on me at the same time. That was probably a Z. Did you order your Z7 II yet?
No, I'm holding off. That's different enough.
Okay, second place, Shopping by Stan Greenberg.
He's not on the call.
Yeah, I wish he was
Not
here.
on the call. Okay. All right. So now, first place, Flamboyance and Flamingos again by Stan Greenberg.
Yay.
That's really nice. I like the mist on the water.
You did your job.
Guys, I've got to go. Happy wife, and I got to keep her happy.
Bless
So.
you. Thank you for helping.
Thanks.
You did a
Thanks,
good job.
Ron.
You did.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye, you too.
Can everybody hear me now?
Barely.
Barely.
Everybody